on the engine bolts, on the top ones, there's two 8mm bolts here, and there's another 8mm bolt that goes right in the back right far corner, and all the rest are 6mm. I've had some real fun and games trying to get this shaft in. For some reason this cam chain just wouldn't line up. I couldn't get this to line up properly, and fiddled about with it, and I was almost to the point thinking I'm going to have to take that case apart. But going in over the top here, I found that this cam chain I hadn't seated properly. Sorry, not cam chain, this primary chain hadn't seated properly at the top, and with a bit of jiggery pokery left or right, it suddenly clicked into position. This whole unit came clear, and then this shaft was able to go through. The next part is to fit this bearing into the case, and there's a spacer here that goes in. You can either put it in before, well, I'll do it now. That goes in there like that, and then we have this spacer. No, the bearing in first. Got this spacer. Need to put that on. This is the right side of the engine, and if you can see just inside there at the top left, it might not be that clear, there's like a little hole. Now that is where this part of the shaft fits into, and that just literally slides in there, and that bit will go into that hole. So it's pretty obvious when you have a look at it. And that's in place, and you've got your spring which you wind up, oops, sorry, and hook it over the top there. So that's the Kickstart shaft in place. Okay, it's time to start putting this spring assembly back together on the side. Now the first bit that needs to go on is this little piece here with its spring. It goes on there, and that goes into there. It's important to keep that spring in the right position. That's in the wrong position. It needs to go there, on the inside of that, if you can see it. Right, I'll just zoom so you can see where that spring goes. So that's it there, like that. So that works like that. So the next part is to fit this little malarkey thing. There's a pin that comes through. These are fairly obvious, some are loose, but it just reassembles quite simply, and one of the pins comes out. That one there matches that hole there, and this spring out the way. This is going to be a tricky little bit, this, I think. And a similar scenario on this side. It's going to be very tricky to get this one in. In fact, I think I'm going to take this bit off. Well, we finally got that in place. With my glamorous assistant, we actually used a couple of cable ties to pull these springs back and up out the way, put that assembly in, and then gently release that back round. I'm now going to put the Y-shaped bit in, which is this part. It's fairly straightforward. Those two prongs go under there, and then that just bolts into that bit there, so I'll do that. The final part of the jigsaw is to replace this shaft, gear lever shaft. This is very straightforward, just slides into here. That goes either side of there. Bring that to the bottom, push it in, that's all in, and that just clicks on those little selectors. Job done. See how the spring goes either side of that attachment in the crankcase, and then the detail of that fork selector that goes either side of those pins. Time to put the clutch basket on. First thing that goes on is the thrust washer. Is that one there? It's already in place. Then the clutch basket. And that meshes into the gears there. Next thing you have is this dishwasher, and it does actually say on it outside, this side, outside. That goes on next. And the castellated nut. Followed by the tabs and then the nut. Now, I'm not going to tighten that up just for now. I've got to get a special tool out. That's that. Right, so this basket is now on. I'm going to zoom in here. You can see the castellation nut there and the tab just here, which has been knocked down into place to stop that unscrewing. That torques down to about 30 foot-pounds with my special tool. So the next bit is just to put the springs on and the dishwasher. So is that one there? So the springs go on there, this plate goes on there, and the screws go in. So I'll get on and do that now.